In 1954, a Chicago doomsday cult predicted a great flood on December 21. When the flood failed to arrive, they didn't disband, they doubled down, claiming their faith saved the world. This is the power of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is not mere stubbornness. It's a deeply wired mental mechanism that shapes human reasoning. Introduced by Leon Festinger in 1957, the theory describes the tension we feel when holding conflicting beliefs, ideas, or behaviors. To reduce this discomfort, people often change their beliefs, justify their actions, or selectively ignore facts, all without conscious awareness. This explains why smokers light up while reading cancer warnings, why voters defend scandal-ridden politicians, and why misinformation spreads. The drive to reduce dissonance is as fundamental as hunger, and the greater the conflict, the more irrational the resolution can become. Understanding this process reveals why people resist change and how we can begin to think more clearly. Leon Festinger formally introduced cognitive dissonance in 1957, building on his earlier observations of a doomsday cult. He hypothesized that when a person holds two psychologically inconsistent cognitions, they experience an uncomfortable state of tension. The magnitude of this dissonance depends on the importance of the conflicting elements. To reduce it, people may alter their beliefs, justify their actions, or ignore contradictory information. Festinger argued this drive is as basic as hunger, often leading to irrational thinking. His work laid the foundation for decades of research, showing that the brain prioritizes internal consistency over objective truth. In 1959, Festinger and James Carl Smith conducted the famous boring task experiment. Participants performed mind-numbing tasks for an hour, then were asked to tell the next person it was enjoyable. Some were paid $1 for this lie, others received $20. Later, when asked their true opinion, the $1 group rated the task as significantly more enjoyable. Why? The $20 group had external justification, the money, so they experienced little dissonance. But the $1 group had insufficient justification, so they reduced their discomfort by convincing themselves the task was genuinely interesting. This experiment demonstrated how people change their attitudes to match their behavior when external rewards are lacking. Once dissonance arises, the brain deploys powerful defense mechanisms. One is selective exposure, seeking information that confirms existing beliefs and avoiding contradictory evidence. Research by Frey in 1986 showed that after making a decision, people overwhelmingly prefer supporting arguments. This isn't mere preference, it's a neurological imperative. Functional MRI studies reveal that when people encounter belief-challenging information, emotional centers like the amygdala activate as if responding to a physical threat. The rational prefrontal cortex can be overridden, making belief change feel like an attack on the self. This explains why people cling to falsehoods even in the face of irrefutable facts. Another powerful manifestation of dissonance is effort justification. The more effort or sacrifice a person invests in a belief or group, the more strongly they defend it. This explains the fierce loyalty seen in fraternities, military units, and expensive self-improvement programs. Aronson and Mills demonstrated this in 1959 by having women undergo either a severe or mild initiation to join a discussion group. Those who endured the embarrassing initiation rated the group's deliberately boring discussion as far more interesting than those with a mild initiation. The severe initiates had to justify their suffering by convincing themselves the group was worth it. This effect shows how our brains rationalize past decisions to protect self-esteem. Modern neuroscience has revealed the neural circuits behind dissonance reduction. When faced with conflicting information, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex becomes highly active, but instead of resolving the conflict accurately, it often constructs justifications that protect existing beliefs. Van Veen et al. Used fMRI to scan participants who made statements contradicting their true opinions. They found increased activity in the anterior cingulate cortex and anterior insula, regions tied to emotional distress and conflict detection. When participants later changed their attitudes to align with their forced statements, this neural activity decreased and the brain's reward system activated. This suggests that self-deception is literally rewarded by the brain, making it a deeply ingrained habit. Understanding cognitive dissonance is the first step toward clearer thinking. By recognizing when we feel that uncomfortable tension, we can pause and ask, am I defending a belief because it's true or because changing it would be painful? Practicing intellectual humility, admitting when we're wrong, can reduce the power of dissonance. Seeking out diverse perspectives and actively engaging with opposing views also helps. While the brain's defenses are automatic, awareness can override them. The goal isn't to eliminate dissonance, but to respond to it with curiosity rather than rigidity. This shift can improve decision-making, relationships, and our ability to navigate a complex world. Cognitive dissonance is a powerful force, but awareness is the first step to overcoming it. If you found this valuable, share it with someone who loves understanding the mind.